here we are on day 2. Trans is still out. We got that out late last night. And pro tip, before you remove this trans, there is a hex plug that fits in that hole right there, and then you take your top timing belt cover bolt and you thread into it. And if I can find it, I'll show you what it looks like. Well, I don't know where it's at the moment. But once you pull that out,
There's still the toolbox up there.
that clutch fork in there will actually come out, and it allows for easier removal of the trans. But once that's out, the trans came out pretty well after spending 3 hours of prying stuff and trying to break stuff. Here's the old WRX trans and the new 6-speed. See if we can get a little closer. Here, you can see just how much bigger that 6-speed is versus the 5-speed. So it's probably going to be a hole to put back in. But right now, we just got done putting on a new pilot bearing. This is a ACT flywheel, I believe. Probably somewhere around the 15-ish pounds. And then we have our South Bend pressure plate, clutch disc, new throwout bearing. We're going to be putting in a rear main seal, new axle seals, and the trans input shaft seal. So I'll make another video separate of this to show how to do the input shaft seal and the axle seals and the rear main seal. But once we get some more stuff done, we'll come back. I've lost some of my footage, but yesterday we started pulling out the stock 5-speed in this 02 WRX wagon. We're going to replace it with a STI 6-speed with, I believe it's a drive shaft from an automatic, and the STI front axles. Here's a comparison. We do have the trans out. On the right, of course, the stock 5-speed. On the left is the 6-speed, and there's the axles, drive shaft. Pulling it's honestly pretty simple. Just take out the front axles, which to do that we had to take the separate the ball joints from the control arms in the front, swing out the strut assembly so we could pull the axle. On the stock one I'll show you, there's these pins. You can see the hole right there in the axle. There's a pin you got to punch out, and the axle slides right off there. So that takes care of them. There's a couple electrical connectors. You'll see they actually bolt right to the pitch mount. You can see the wires already on there. Once they're out, of course you have the couple bolts. You have the 2 starter bolts, and then there's, I believe there's a total of 10 bolts, including the starter bolts. So once you get that out, there's only 8. Another good thing, this hole here is on the driver's side. It's actually a 10mm hex bolt. Once you get that out, you have access to this piece, which holds the clutch fork on. And you can see this bolt here is a bolt from the upper timing cover. You just screw it in. It takes a little prying, but you just pull this out and the trans will come right out. Of course, take your whole exhaust off, top mount intercooler, pitch mount, all that trash, get it out of the way. And then right now we're working on getting the rear main seal out. And then we can put the new one in, put the new ACT flywheel with the South Bend clutch in, and bolt it back up. I'll make another separate video showing how to replace the axle seals and the input shaft seal on the trans. That'll be a whole separate video. This isn't a DIY by any means, just an update on the project. It is actually sporting some air ride from Bag Riders, and it has the RPF ones, which need a little bit of painting and detailing. Currently has the SPT intake, the full Godspeed exhaust, eBay essentially.
It's a Godspeed catback. Well, no, it's a Godspeed downpipe and it's a Gimmick Motorsports catback.
So Godspeed downpipe and a Gimmick Motorsports catback, which only really has a single muffler in it and is not that loud. It sounds pretty good. There's other videos on the channel with it. Has a go fast bits, 50/50, or an adjustable recirc valve.
Pair and crank pulley.
Pair and crank pulley. And of course, it's got, it's tuned via cob. But it's also got another turbo that goes in it eventually. That is a
Blausch 16G XTR.
the Blausch 16G XTR, which should be the ball bearing. So that'll make a little extra power. It's got the STI intercooler sprayer, but that's probably, this will go on, but the sprayer is probably not going to work. And of course there's an upgraded top mount intercooler too. Aside from that, that's all the progress we have. So we'll update later.